welcome to the Spargur Yarn Crafts podcast channel. My name is WSpargur, and this is part 2 of episode 52. We're going to talk about my finished objects for this week. Thank you so much for joining me. If you are new, you can find part 1 by going to my channel and finding the video previous to this, or you can actually just skip to the end of the video, and there should be a thing that has the previous video part. And if I can figure out how to do the little eye in the corner thing that everybody seems to do, it may show up here somewhere, or is it here or here? Whatever. If I can figure that part out, it might show up here. If not, I'll try to remember to either put a link in the video description box below or any of the previous things I said to find part 1, which is my works in progress. Today we are doing part 2, which is the finished objects. And real quick, again, for new people, all of the other information about me and socials and all of that is in the video description box below. There's too much to go over, so go and check that out if you like this, and also give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you are new. Thank you so much, and for those of you who have come back, thank you, thank you, thank you. So let's just jump right into it. I only have 3 finished objects this week, but they are a lot of fun. So the first one, actually there's 2 that are pretty much the same thing, just done in different yarns. So this is number 1. This is the Choose Your Own Edging, or Choose Your Edging shawl by Michelle Miller, who is Fiberpunk on Ravelry. And this is a shawl that starts out the exact same way with all of this stockinette, and you get to a certain stitch count, and then you can choose one of 3 border options to put on this. Now, when I read the pattern, I thought it was for fingering weight, but apparently the pattern was written for DK weight. I didn't know that, and I wasn't paying attention. So this isn't fingering weight, and it is too small to wear. So it's going to probably adorn the mannequin that is somewhere behind me blending into the wall, because I have apparently set this to be way too bright. My bad. Anyway, so, yeah, and then, like, just, isn't that gorgeous? Now, this yarn is a 50% baby yak, 50% mulberry silk, so it's a 50-50 skein. This was done in one skein, one 50-gram skein. This is the softest yarn I have ever used. And also, it's hand-dyed by me. I was deciding whether or not to bring this base into the Spargur Yarn Co. shop. So in order to kind of get more of an idea about the yarn, I dyed some and I knit some myself. And I definitely love it. I'm trying to find out now if this would be a base people would be interested in purchasing from the Spargur Yarn Crafts shop. Because of the silk and yak base, it wouldn't be great for speckleds. It might be okay for variegateds, but really solids are going to be where it's at. And I think that it just gives such lovely drape, and it's so light and so soft. I think this would just be great for maybe a colorwork project or just a nice shawl that has some beautiful drape. And it'll be nice and warm. So yeah, this was knit on whatever the pattern called for. I think it was 5s, US 5s. And it's tiny. I did border number 3. I have not done border number 1 or 2, but I did do this is border number 3. And I think it turned out great. I think it's beautiful. Again, can't wear it, too small for me, but it's beautiful. Might give it to my grandmother. She's 4 foot nothing. So it sounds mean. She's so small. She's so short. Poor Gran. Might give this to her. She's small enough. That might actually fit her. Anyway, because I had screwed up and done the wrong yarn on the first one, I knit a second one, and this actually turned out to be worsted weight, not DK weight. And instead of doing all stockinette, I did decide to do some garter stitch there in the middle, just to kind of change things up. It felt really nice to get that done, but I did the same border, so this is border number 3 again. It is a little bit bigger, but it's still, like, I don't really know how I would wear this. You might be able to hear my dogs barking in the background. I don't know how I would wear this, because I can't, I'd almost just have to tuck it and make it like a bandana. That's really, I think, the only way I could make this work for me. But somebody smaller might have a little bit more luck, or next time I want to knit something like this, or maybe try out one of the different border options, I'll just knit one that's twice the size, use up more yarn, which is something that I've been trying to do. Anyway, yeah, that's still not my favorite, and it's a little too hot to be wearing it now because, again, I'm in Vegas. So, but beautiful, beautiful lace work. I love this pattern, and I will probably knit more of it in the future, as well as more from Michelle Miller. I really, really love her patterns. So, yeah. And the last finished object I have is actually an original design. This is called Mosey On Down the Fade. It is that find your fade shape that everybody loves. It's just 2 colors, and it really involves some nice mosaic stitch work, so you can kind of see the slip stitching pattern that occurs in here. But the idea of, so it's Mosey, which is play on mosaic, and then on down the fade, because these colors do fade together. So there's 4 sections in 1, 3 sections in 2, 2 sections in 1, 1 section in 2, and then it slowly fades together until at the end of the shawl it ends with a mosaic. And because mosaic is a lot of slip stitching, it really does put 2 colors, hold on, see if I can get it to refocus. It really does put the 2 colors together until they're really just, it's just one. And I really love the way that that worked out. And it's 2 skeins of yarn. You don't need any more than 2 skeins. And I didn't even use all 2 skeins. I used 70 grams of both fingering weight skeins. I could have made this bigger, but this actually blocked out to a nice size. I'm actually really pleased with the size this came out to be. And now I can wear it and pair it with maybe a nice shawl pin or something like that. And there we go. Let's see if I can sit up a little taller. But yeah, it's a nice size for me. It's the size shawl that I like to wear. So yeah, beautiful, beautiful. I'm actually really proud of myself for this. And this is in my own hand-dyed yarns. So the purplish color here is Hyacinth, and the brown color is Cinnamon Cider. 2 colors that kind of, you know, interesting to put together, but I think it worked out really well. And I think doing this pattern in 2 contrasting colors would just really make it pop, like a nice, maybe radioactive green and black or something like that would just really, really make this fun fade pop. So original design, working on, I've got some testers on it now, but the pattern's pretty much typed up. It's pretty much ready to go. And this should be coming out soon, so be looking for that. Thank you so much for joining me. It has been a lot of fun working on these projects. And if you're new, I hope you'll stick around and follow some of the parts for later this week. And also subscribe, share with your friends, hit that like button, hit that bell for notifications for every time I post a new video. And other than that, I'm ready to go tackle the rest of this week. I hope you are as well. I hope you are staying safe and staying healthy and continuing to craft as we all are trying to do right now. And I look forward to seeing you again very, very soon here on the Spargur Yarn Crafts podcast channel. Thanks. Bye.